Here is a Duracraft Turbo fan from the 2000s, probably early 2000s. It's branded Duracraft on the front, but the back it is branded Honeywell. It's the Duracraft DT-70 series, made in China, 120 volts, 0.74 amps. These used basic C-frame shaded pole motors. According to the UL sticker, it's dated 12/01, so it was likely sold in the summer of 2002. So this is a black and white one. These came in quite a few different colors. They also came in this green color, which we'll show in a separate video. I have a purple and white one. I think I have a green one. I'm trying to get all the colors because I just have this ridiculous thing where I like to have all the colors and sizes of things. These are pretty good fans in my opinion. They move quite a bit of air and they seem to last a long time. I remember seeing these around, I would say, pretty regularly up until maybe 5 years ago. And I've seen plenty of these in filthy condition and they still run. I wonder if, because the motor is mounted in front of the blades, the extra airflow keeps the bearings cooler and they last longer. Or maybe the blades are very good quality and they were in good balance. I just know between this one and then the Holmes window fans with the motors mounted in front, both of these seem to last longer than other fans with shaded pole motors. This thing, wow, 2001. So this thing is over 2 decades old. It's getting to the point now where I've been collecting certain categories of things long enough that the product category on the market and how people use it and how much of it's still out in the wild is really starting to change. And it's kind of scary to think that this is over 20 years old, because I remember when these were new. I remember seeing these at a local store called CVS. It was like a pharmacy store, and CVS sold a bunch of Duracraft fans, and the fans used to be on display and plugged in and operating. And get this, I remember going to CVS with my mother to develop pictures. I bet a lot of people watching this video don't even know what that means. But the CVS was, and it's long gone now, but it was in a complex with a grocery store. And so we would go bring the film to get the film developed, and then while it was developing we would go buy the food, and then we'd go back and pick up the pictures. And for whatever reason I just remember the bags that the pictures would come in. It was like a big, kind of like an oversized paper envelope, and the pictures would come inside there, and I remember looking at the pictures with my mother. Just a odd blip in time that I remember. And of course when we were there, my favorite part of that whole event was to go down the aisle with all the fans in it, and because you could actually turn the fans on and off and manipulate the speed and everything. Totally different world even just 20 years ago. And that same store, that CVS store, used several Duracraft fans behind the counter. I know there was a pedestal fan in the back of the store where the medications, you would buy the medication, And then in the front of the store where the where the pictures would be developed, there was a one of the oscillating table fans by Duracraft. And those fans were there for quite a few years. And these, I remember seeing these at the store in a bunch of different colors. And I remember seeing them in the wild all over the place. And every now and again, even today, I still see them on occasion. This one's in pretty good shape. It's fairly clean. The bearings seem to be in good condition. It's not too sun damaged. Needs a little bit of a cleanup, but nothing crazy. Polarized plug, but not fused. This is before the fuse fiasco. So we were testing with 119.1 volts. Go over to the amps, and we'll start up on low. Moderately quiet. So curiously, these actually resurfaced under the Chillouts brand for a while. Chillout seemed to be like a descendant of Duracraft. And so these fans ended up being on the market for an extremely long time. I bought one of the Chillouts models in the mid 2010s. So these were on the market for at least 15 or so years. I think these even go back into the 90s. I think there were much earlier versions than this in the 90s as well. So I would say these might have been on the market for upwards of 3 decades, which is pretty impressive. It's very quiet, and it's moving a pretty good amount of air, especially for the noise. There's a lot of junk on the floor, so I can't really get to the other side of the room, but as far as I can go, I still feel plenty of air, 10 plus feet away from the unit. And in terms of balance, it's not bad. It's in pretty reasonable balance. It's not perfect. I think I would give a shot at balancing it a little bit better, but it's not bad. It's shaking just a little bit. You can see it's quite strong. So the power information is 0.31 amps, 28.0 the watts, and 0.75 the power factor. That's not crazy power consumption. And here's our turbo speed on high. That's actually really pushing quite a bit of air. That's only 0.51 the amps, 45 the watts, and 0.73 the power factor. So that's well below what it's rated for. That's pretty strong. The only thing that kind of stinks about these is it's just one angle. So if it doesn't happen to blow in the exact angle that you want, you got to like prop it up or something. Some of them, or maybe I'm thinking of a different model, some of them had like a wheel on the back that you could get a little bit of adjustment out of, but even those, it was nothing real spectacular. I'm just going to put that underneath it so I can feel how far it goes across the room. Oh wow, that's a strong breeze. About 10 or 12 feet away from it. And it's really not all that loud. Huh. I knew these were good, but I haven't used one in a while. This is impressive to me. I think the aerodynamics on these are very good because you have the blades are back far enough such that you have air going in the sides, right? So the blade's not here, it's right about here. And then the front is kind of the curved design like Vornado uses, but I think it's pretty aerodynamic. So you get really good performance out of these with minimal noise. And the bearings seem fine. I don't know how many hours are on this thing, but it's running really good. There's some vibration, but it's not anything too crazy.